Hi everyone, welcome back to Faith and Flour. This is Robin, and in today's video, I've got a grocery haul, some decluttering motivation, and some meal ideas for you. Before we get started, I want to give you all a big hug and thank you for helping me reach 75,000 subscribers. It has been an amazing journey, and of course I could never have done it without you. I truly feel that I have the best subscribers here on YouTube. If you guys would like to see our channel continue to grow, then make sure to like this video by giving me a thumbs up. Make sure to share with a friend who you think would enjoy it, and don't leave without subscribing if you haven't already done so. We would really love you to join our Faith and Flour community. So this is sort of a typical grocery haul for us if we don't go to Trader Joe's. I feel like I show you my Trader Joe's hauls a lot more than what I get from our regular local grocery store, which here in Texas is H-E-B. So that's what I've got here for you today. And I'm just gonna quickly go through and show you the things that we bought and sort of what I'm planning to use them for. So I always feel like I have to explain our diet a little bit when I get started with a grocery haul, because we have one son that cannot have gluten. So in general, we eat gluten-free, but when there are specialty items and breads and things like that, we do it separately just to reduce the cost, because gluten-free items are quite pricey. So for instance, I bought these frozen waffles, and this is not at all typical. We usually make our own, and I usually make them gluten-free, but we tried these power waffles, Patrick and I, recently because they were on special and they were really good. And I thought it would be fun to get Peyton some that are gluten-free. So we got a couple of those. I had a coupon for these, so that was a good price. And we're gonna be traveling a little bit in our RV, and I thought these would be fun to have in our RV freezer, and then we can have them for a quick breakfast when we're on the go. I got some eggs. This is our favorite brand of pasture-raised eggs. They're really nice, high-quality eggs, and so that's what I usually try to get when possible. I got one large package of chicken. This is 4 1/4 pounds. I'm gonna freeze some, and then I'm going to use some for a meal prep that I'm doing from the Cook Once, Eat All Week cookbook. I will have that information. I did a whole video about it in the description box below. I can't remember which week it is, but I'll show you some of the ingredients that go along with it. I have a few things already on hand, and the chicken is part of that. I also got some whole milk. That's what the guys drink. I am actually lactose free, so I don't drink this. I usually drink an almond milk. And this is Patrick's favorite coffee creamer, so got some of that. And also, with our sort of RV trip in mind, I got some hot dogs. These are the Nathan's Skinless Beef Franks, and these were on special this week, so I went ahead and got 2. I can easily freeze those. I got some cream for a recipe that I'm going to be making. I also picked up feta cheese to use for the sheet pan salad that I showed you guys in my 6 summer salads video. So if you haven't seen that, I will put that in the description box too. I've got a couple other ingredients for that. I got sour cream. This goes along with the Cook Once, Eat All Week recipes to make a green goddess salad dressing. And while I'm talking about that, I got some chives and tarragon for that dressing as well. I also got some deli sliced cheese and turkey. This is great for a quick lunch. Peyton loves to make sandwiches like that to take with him, and Patrick and I will eat a sandwich lots of times during the week as well. And getting into the produce, I got a couple of either whatever you call them. There's a bunch of different names. English cucumber, hothouse cucumber. They can be called seedless cucumbers, even though they do have seeds. They're just very small, and I like using these because Patrick asked for a bean salad. That's also in that 6 summer salad video that I showed you guys. So if you're curious about that, you can find that recipe there. But I like using the cucumbers in a lot of salads because the fact that their seeds are much smaller makes them a lot less sort of watery, and so they hold up in salads a lot better. I also got some fresh strawberries and some of these Hood River cherries. These are so good, and I love getting them as long as they're in season. They're huge cherries. They're really sweet and firm, just the way I like them. I also got some flat leaf parsley that will go along with these other herbs to make that green goddess salad dressing. And the kale is part of that week's recipe as well. So a lot of these items are gonna be for that food prep that I'm gonna be doing. I got some green beans and potatoes. That's for the sheet pan salad. And I picked up a couple of these pasta sauces. I haven't actually tried this particular one. I like this brand and I usually get the roasted garlic, I think it is. That's our favorite. But I thought I'd try a couple others. So I got the 3 cheese and the tomato basil. And I saw that their pizza sauce was on special this week. I got one of the pizza crust for Peyton that's gluten-free. And if you bought the HEB pizza sauce, you got a couple of pizza crust for free. So I haven't tried these before, but I figured they're free, we'll give them a try. That makes pizza night really easy. We also got cereals. I stocked up on a lot this week, and these are probably not the healthiest choices ever, but these are things that my family really likes. And when I see that they're on special or I have a coupon or something, I'll go ahead and get whatever the limit is to save money on that, and then just keep them in our pantry, and we'll just use them as we need them. They last a really long time. They have a great shelf life. They're really good for a prepper pantry because this is the kind of thing you could just eat all by itself if you weren't able to, have milk to go with it, or if you couldn't use your stove, or for any number of reasons. They make good snacks too. And then I got some of this Patek's Tiki Masala Curry Paste. I really like this. Let's see if I can get it to focus on there. I really like this for making my homemade curry. It's really easy and it's got a lot of flavor instead of making my own paste. I know this is not focusing. Sorry about that, but those are really good. I like this brand. And I also got some of the Hershey syrup. I think this Simply 5 one is pretty good as ingredients go. Peyton likes this for sometimes making chocolate milk or putting on top of his ice cream, so he requested that. And then I usually try to stock up on any canned goods that we're either running low on or that I can get for a reduced price to keep in our rotation in our prepper pantry. So this week it was mandarin oranges, some Rotel, which is fire roasted diced tomatoes and green chilies, some diced fire roasted tomatoes. These are so full of flavor. So if you're making any kind of pasta sauce or anything, this is great for that. And sauerkraut is something that we really love to have along with sausages or something, especially in the summertime when we put them on the grill. And then of course, barbecue baked beans. This is a family favorite, and this actually goes really well with the hot dogs and is something that I would definitely take along for our RV trip. So that is pretty much it what I got this week. I will sometimes need to go back to the store to supplement a little bit more with the produce and everything. This is definitely going to last us for a week, but next week I'll probably need to go back and replenish some of that. So that is it for the grocery haul today. I just received the most adorable tea towel from Sadie and Jane. I wanted to share it with you today because I love this company. They are a small family business that is dedicated to helping women feel confident sharing their faith, and they partner with brands that make an impact and help women from all over the world find freedom. They are a great source for graphic tees, jewelry, journaling Bibles, tea towels, and more. Although this video is not sponsored by Sadie and Jane, they did gift me the tea towel and they provided a 15% discount code for you, so find that down in the description box along with the link to their amazing online store. This adorable tea towel was handmade by Daughters of Hope. This organization supports women in southern India, giving them a chance to break the cycle of poverty through employment, training, education, benefits, childcare, and more. I know many of you love to support amazing companies like this, so if you're interested in finding a special gift, check out Sadie and Jane. It's It's fun to get something new once in a while, but it's important to keep on top of things by practicing one in and one out. So I went to my cabinet and pulled out a couple of dish towels that I'm not using much anymore, and I'm decluttering those. I'm actually going to take them to the RV where I need a few more. That reminded me to do a little bit of decluttering in several areas of our home. So to make that easy, I keep this container in the corner of my closet, and when I find something that I want to declutter, I go ahead and put it there right away. And when I have quite a few things, I will make a run over to the donation center and go ahead and get those things out of the house. So to this today, I'm going to add several things by doing a sort of 15-minute declutter all over the house. Starting with my closet, I've been gathering some things together for my fall wardrobe, and this jean skirt didn't make the cut, or this dress, so those things are going to be heading over to the donation center, and I'm gonna head into a few other rooms and see what else I can find. A couple years back at this point, I did a declutter of our entire house room by room, and it feels so good. I really don't want that clutter creeping back in, so I do try to practice the one in and one out rule, so when I buy something new, something else has to leave our home. And I also like to do a sort of seasonal decluttering like I am today, where I go room by room and see what I can find that I haven't been using. For example, these lipsticks, these are sort of summer colors, and I didn't wear them this year, so they are going to go. And I've got a bathing suit that I didn't wear all summer either, so that's gonna go too. As a matter of fact, I think it's been a couple of seasons that I haven't worn it. It's still in great shape, but it's not doing me any good just sitting in my drawer. We keep all of the drawers in the furniture of this room completely empty so that our guests can use it when they're here. We've been using the closet for temporary storage for a few things, like a mattress pad from our RV, an extra chair from the kitchen table that we use when we have guests. I've got a mirror and a refrigerator gasket, which is in that cardboard box. And then we just keep some extra things like bedding, some hangers, a robe, and we're doing a little bit of winter storage in here too for extra bedding. But at the top, I've got a couple of hat boxes that I put there when we first moved in, and I honestly don't even remember what's in them. So I was looking in this closet today and realized that that needs to be sorted out. Essentially, these things have been in quarantine. So that means if I don't know what they are things that I am not using and I don't need, and they're just taking up space in this closet. I need to address how I'm storing things in there, and so this is an easy place to start. And so in this first hat box, I've got sheet music, things that were mine when I was a kid and I played piano, and also when Kyle played violin, so I'm gonna sort through those. And in here, I discovered a whole bunch of sewing items that I haven't seen since we moved, as I said, and obviously haven't needed. Some of them are really old, like there's a pattern for some curtains, and these are definitely from the 90s. So I know I'm not gonna be using any of this stuff. I'm gonna look through and see if there's anything that someone might use, but otherwise I'm just going to donate those things and toss out anything that's no longer any good, and the hat boxes themselves are going to be donated too. In my recent video where I decluttered the cabinet above our coffee maker, I showed you how I was using this space to quarantine the mugs that you see on the shelf above. This coffee maker has essentially been in quarantine for quite a while too. I told you guys the story about how we found an espresso machine at our Goodwill. This is our original one. It's probably one of the original espresso machines. The one that I found at Goodwill is an updated version that's automatic, but this one still works. And so we talked about it and decided that it would be nice to take it back to Goodwill, and maybe someone will discover this and it will be their treasure. In that same video, I pulled these items out. I checked with Kyle and he would like to have them. So I'm going to package those up, and the next time I see him, I'll make sure he gets those. And so I've gathered everything here, and before I go pick up Peyton, I'm going to drop them off at the donation center. we got home, I gathered up some of the last of the tomatoes from our vegetable garden to add to the bean salad that I mentioned to you earlier. In the original recipe, I think I used chickpeas, but this time I substituted kidney beans. You can switch it up in so many different ways. It makes a great side dish, but I also like it all by itself for lunch, especially in the summertime. I also thought I'd show you how I made the confetti chicken casserole, because if your family thinks that they don't like kale, I think this recipe could really win them over. And I'm all about meals that are sort of an all-in-one dish, and this one really is. This is from the Cook Once, Eat All Week cookbook, and I've put it in my Amazon store to make it easy for you to find. Her batch cooking method is amazing, and it's a great way to get 3 meals prepared in advance. But this week I only wanted to make 2 of the recipes from this week, so I'm making this one plus the green goddess salad. So while I'm getting this one ready, I'm also gonna prepare the kale and the chicken for the other one, which is gonna make my life really easy when I'm ready to make that meal. I always like the idea of preparing produce ahead of time. It just makes it so much easier when you want to make a meal when those things are already prepped. It saves a ton of time. And so I'm just stripping the stems away from the kale because that part is rather coarse. And then I'm just gonna roughly chop it and put it in my salad spinner and give it a really good wash and spin it dry. While the chicken's baking, I'm just gonna saute an onion to add to the casserole. Once that's done, everything comes together super fast. The chicken's ready. I only used 3 of the 6 chicken breasts. I actually decided to freeze the others, and I tried a little experiment. I put it on the Silpat mat instead of using parchment paper like I've done before, and I don't think I'll repeat that. The juices ran down underneath, and it was a little more cleanup than I was prepared to do. The Silpat mat actually came out completely clean, but I think I will use parchment paper from now on. It just makes cleanup so much easier, and I'm all about that. For the confetti chicken, I'm just going to chop up 1.5 of these chicken breasts. They were really large, and that's more than enough for this casserole. The rest I'm gonna save for the salad later in the week. Now I'm just combining 1 can of drained corn, 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, the chicken, the kale, the onions, and a little bit of salt. Then I'm gonna toss it all together and put it in a casserole dish. Before putting it in the oven, I top it with some cheddar cheese and a little bit of bacon. I know, you were probably thinking, Kale, how healthy, and she's topping it with cheese and bacon. But this is one of the things that makes it so good, and I think it's a great way to sort of sneak kale into your family if they don't like it. I know it works for my family. That bakes in the oven at 350 for just about 30 minutes, and so I'm cleaning up the kitchen and putting the chicken away for the green goddess salad later in the week. This smells so good, and if you don't believe me, just ask Austin. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. I hope it gave you some homemaking inspiration, some decluttering motivation, and maybe a meal idea or two. Make sure you check out Sadie and Jane, and don't forget to use my 15% discount code. And don't leave without subscribing if you haven't already done so. It's free and easy. All you have to do is click on my picture. Thank you so much for spending your time with me here today. I can't wait to talk with you down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a wonderful week.